Hello everyone and welcome to Math 1314 for the Minimester. My name's Terry Barnes and I'll be helping you on this really quick journey. And so there's bad news and good news. And the bad news is you got to do this in just a short period of time. The good news is you're going to have this course done in a very short period of time. And I know that you'll be successful in that. We just got to find out where everything is and what the expectations are. And that's what we're going to do in this video. So you've seen where the announcements are, and there will be announcements there at least every week, if not, more frequently because we have such a short time. But let's talk about where everything is. So this is the announcements. Over here in the content box is pretty much anything and everything that you would need for the course. My contact info is here. And if we click on that, and one more time, we're going slow today. Okay, so that comes up, and that's my office number. I'm not on campus, but here is my office phone number. So if you felt the need that you had to speak to me, you can do that. I will get an email, and it will send me the voicemail. So that is one thing. Let's go back. All right, the instructor plan is next. Let's look at that. All right. We're not going to read the whole thing. You should look through it. But again, here's my contact information. You don't have a hard copy text. We offered this as inclusive access, and that meant the ebook comes with your tuition. You do need a TI 83 or 84 calculator. If you have another one and you're very good at using it, that may be fine. When I teach something on the calculator, it will be on an 83, 84, so keep that in mind. Then if we go down, you can read some of that. Course attendance, participation. If you're absent 25% of assigned work in an online course, you'll be withdrawn with a grade of W. So in this course, it's participation, but you just need to be doing something every day, whether it's open up one homework and work on one problem. If you do that, you're counted present. So just keep that in mind. I would let you know if you get in a position where you're close to being dropped. I don't expect anybody for that to happen. Course outline and schedule, we'll talk about that in another place. Grading, there are homeworks for every section, and that homework counts 30% of your total average. There are 6 tests plus a final. Test count is 50%. And before each test will even open for you, you have to have passed the homework for that chapter with at least a 70 on each one. So it just won't open for you if you haven't passed the homework, and that should make sense. We should be able to pass the homework if we think we're ready for the test. Final exam is cumulative. It's over everything, and it will count 20% of your final average. So that's the grading and how that goes. Let's see. And I think we've talked about attendance. I think that's really the highlights for that. So we should be good on the instructor plan. You should read through all of that on your own. Now, the calendar, when you look at the calendar, click, click. So here is the calendar. Now, it has no dates on it, and the reason for that is all of this work is available first day, and it is all due the last day. You can work as fast as you want, or you can work methodically through it. I would do something each day. I would kind of plan, okay, I'm going to get this chapter 1 and 2 done by this date. I'm going to then work on chapter 3. 4 and 5 are the harder of the chapters. So just keep that in mind. Just work steadily, make yourself a plan. This is really self-paced, but this is everything that is on the calendar to do. So that should take care of the calendar. All right, the next thing here is really the important parts. So if I click on this problem sets, videos, and lecture notes, I have problem sets for each chapter, lecture notes for each chapter, and a video for each chapter, every section. So let's look at the problem sets. When you click on there, we go to chapter 1 and 2, and we'll go to the first section. So this is a set of practice problems for the homework. I do recommend that you go through this before you do the homework. It'll make the homework so much easier, and you won't have near as many questions. So if I were you, I would print this paper. If you don't have access to a printer, then you could just practice working on these before you try the homework. So there is a page like this for every section. Let's go back to the next thing. So the next thing is our lecture notes. If we go here, we're going to again go to 1 and 2. This is the section we just looked at the problem set. If you were in class, you would be seeing, we would go over these lecture notes in preparation for those problems. And if you go down far enough, you will come to those same problems, but with the work, or if it's just an answer, that would be there. In this one, it's talking about graphing and what that looks like. So all of this is worked out for you for that section. Now let's go back and look at the video for that. So if we go back over here and we go to the lecture videos, it will take you to my YouTube channel, and I have a playlist in there for every one of our sections. So if we click here, you're now going to be in my YouTube channel for college algebra. And if you click on this video, it is me going through each of those problems in the problem set and the lecture notes and explaining what is happening. So you have those for each one. Let's go back to here. Okay, so you have a problem set, a lecture note, and a video for every section. My suggestion is to go through that for each section and then go do the homework. And then when you've done all of the homework for chapter 1 and 2, you're ready to tackle the test. And I would highly recommend that that's the order you do it in. Some people try to do all the homework and then they go back and try to do all the tests, and that usually doesn't work well. So just saying that's what we should do. Now, say you've gone over 1.3 and you're ready to do the homework. If you go up here to homework and tests, click on that. Okay, so all of that comes up, and you can tell right here, everything is due May 23rd at 6 p.m., every single item. They are all clickable links, and they have, if it's a test, there is a flag here that says you have to score 70% on that section before working on the test. So that'll remind you of that. Let's look at 1.3. That's the first homework. We'll go into there. On your lecture notes and prep for this, there should be about the same number of questions. There should be about the same kind of questions. Let's look here at maybe question 3. See if we can go into that. Okay, so we're in this, and it will look very similar to what you were doing. And if you'll notice, there's nothing down here. But if I click in the box because I'm ready to answer, then down here I get different things. It says you want this in interval notation. that means you're going to have like an ordered pair, so it's real easy to click this, and then you just have to put the answer. And this one would actually be -8 to 9, but we do have something a little special. I'm going to show you that. But if we put -8, and over here we have 9. So the thing that's different here is, if you notice, and you'll learn that when you're studying, that one has a parentheses, this has a bracket. Well, that means this thing here, parentheses, needs to be a bracket, and it's right next to the P on your keyboard. So we have that. Then we'll hit check answer, and we get that nice work. If you don't get it right, you have 3 tries, 3 total tries before it will say, do you want to get a different problem? And it will regenerate. So you can try it 3 times. You can keep doing your homework till you get 100. That's what I suggest. So that's how that works. Now, if you're stuck, you can always say view an example, although you already have examples in your problem sets. But if you want another one, you can click there. And if you've tried it a bunch and you're just stuck, this is what I suggest. If you want me to help you on a particular question, click on this Get More Help. Oh, I need to close out of that. Okay, so Get More Help and Ask My Instructor. Click there. This kind of picture will come up, and it's sending me an email with this specific question. And you can type in here whatever you've tried, whatever your question is. It'll come to me. Be sure you put some information there, because sometimes people will send it and I won't have a clue as to what they're not sure of. So be sure you put some sort of question in there, and that way I know exactly how to help you specifically. So if you're really stuck and you can't get it, do that Get More Help and Ask My Instructor. All right, and so we will get out of here. I'm gonna hit save. I think it auto saves, but we can hit save. And for right now, I've got one question done, and it says my current score is an 8.33. All right, I'm going to get out of that and go backwards. I want to get out. Okay, that is the same place that you would do your tests as I showed you. And one more thing on the test, let's see, let's go back. So if we were looking at, say, this exam, chapter 1 and 2 test, it tells you you have 2 hours and that you have 2 tries. And the higher of the grade will be the one that figures in your average. So it doesn't ever hurt you to take it twice. And the first time can be your review. That kind of shows you what kind of questions there are. Chapter 4 has 150 minutes. It's a little bit longer. Chapter 5, 120. Chapter 6 is pretty short, and it's multiple choice. It's on the computer. I mean, it's matrices on the calculator. So it's 90 minutes. Then when you get down to the final exam, it's 150 minutes, but you only have 1 shot at it. There is an online list of things to review for that. So when you get ready to do that, I'll go over that again. But that's how to do your homework and what that looks like. Let's go back to here and look at your grade book. Now this is looking as if I were the learner. And so I've done 1 homework out of 30. And right now that shows here. You could review it. You can go back in under homework and work on it. But this shows you your grade, okay? And when I look in my grade book, I see when you worked on it, how long you worked on it, when you came back and finished it, that sort of thing. So I can see all of that information on my side. Okay, so that's homework and grade book. If you need the book, I don't think you do. I think I've pulled out everything you need, but if you do, it is right here. You can get an electronic text right there. Handouts, this is important. If you are using a TI Inspire, here's some help, because what I have discovered is that some of my high school students that come in using a TI Inspire didn't do some of the things we're going to do. And so this might help you if you have a TI Inspire. This yellow packet is it's a 15-page document. If you have access to a printer, it's good to print because it's good information to have when you're working your homework or when you're testing. It's a reference document. And so it's got formulas. You go through here. It's got about changing from inequality form to interval notation. That's good. Helpful hints for the calculator. Special functions, which we will cover. Some additional help. Regression, which you may or may not have done, but there's some explicit directions for that. Matrices, a chart of powers, and then 5.7 has some exponential, logarithmic, and logistic regression. So there's some information for that. So that's that. I would print it. I would have it as a reference. All right, the other thing that is here is calculator help. If you noticed on the homework test page, there was a calculator test. You can take that test an infinite number of times. So everybody should end up with 100 on that. But take it as many times as it takes to do that. If you go in here to calculator help, first of all, if you don't have a calculator, there are some phone apps that you could use that may be helpful and save you having to buy one. If you don't know much about the calculator, here's some worksheets and videos that would maybe help you with specific topics. And then if you're ready to take the review or work on the review, you just click this and it has a question, find the solutions, and you're doing it with your calculator. It has the answers right here. I also, let me go back. Have a video of me working that review. So, let's do this.
To be free and flexible and creative was really essential to what I wanted to make, and I didn't find a platform that did that other than Wix.
Skip all that.
This review is for the cap.
So you can see that I am clicking the buttons and showing you exactly what to do.
Now you get this really strange number.
Okay.
And I do want
so, knowing that, if we go back over here and go back here. So if you want to review for that test, if you think you've got it all down, then you are welcome to try that without that review. But I think it's really a good idea to look at the review, try to do that before you take that calculator test. So the rest of that is just specific things. So I think that other than the final exam review, now let's just look at that real quick, and then we'll have covered everything. So this says, study the following homework problems in prep for the final exam. So that helps you narrow what you need to be prepared for. And not problem sets, but actual homework questions. And then if you have any questions with that, you certainly can check with me. All right, let's go back here. So I think that gets you everything. Be sure you check for your announcements. Be sure you contact me if you need any help. And we will get through this, and I'm sure you will be successful. Good luck.